Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff back again with a few new releases that have recently come in that I thought worth sharing. Some of these you may be aware of, some maybe not as aware of, and so I just wanted to make sure they were covered because I have fallen in love with, with all these things have come out really good. So anyway, yeah, they come from all different sources, which I'll explain in a minute. So coming up first is Allos, I guess. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Brazilian band. Spiritual Battle. This is actually their 2012 first album. Power metal, they have some slight progressive tendencies, I guess, at times, as power metal can. So think, all the typical power metal bands that you'll get from that sound, and they're right up in there with that. Now, the CD had come out back in June-ish, which I did pick up, but I don't think I ever showed this when it came in because it was kind of a bundle deal with the vinyl, and I knew the vinyl was on hold, or it took time to manufacture. It finally came in. The cover, as you can see, is fully autographed. That is an actual flat. The album itself is not, but the flat that came with it is, and the album itself is on a pretty green, which kind of goes along with the theme. Got some handsome looking people there, gentlemen playing the band stuff. So yeah, they have another album out in 2024. I hope that they're going to eventually turn around and maybe that'll come out on vinyl too. It is, I don't think I even have that on CD, but they only have the two albums, it seems, 2012 and 2024. So, big gap in there. The album has, all the typical 9 tracks, whereas a CD has an additional 7, but most of them are instrumental tracks. So if you count that as being, a huge bonus, we got some instrumental tracks there. And so this came out on Girder Music, Girder Records, girdermusic.com. You could pick this up, and I'm hoping that maybe they'll swing back around and do the second album, and then that we'll have them both. I assume the band is still active because of the 2024 release. So great stuff. Check it out. I know there's a ton of power metal out there. Maybe you'll enjoy this one as much as I have. The next one is a new one from Trevor Church, the new Haunt album. I'm sure most everybody's probably familiar with Haunt that's into the rock and hard rock. Trevor Church being the son of Bill Church, longtime bass player for Boston, Sammy Hagar, lots of other bands. And so Trevor's a son. He does like all kinds of instrumentation. He started Haunt. I think they first put out their EP early on, like 2017 or so, and he has pumped out at least one release every year since then. This is like his 15th release since 2017. A lot of times he was doing EPs and pumping them out like every 6 or 7 months, and then he has been doing more full albums, and this is the most recent full album. So he just churns out the music. It's a thick album, not a gatefold. Let's see. I believe I got the black. There are multiple. He always puts out multiple colors, and I know some people. I'm not the type of collector that buys all the different color variants. I typically buy one. I have leaned more heavily recently to buying black when it's available. A lot of times it ends up being the one that they have less copies of, but I just feel that a lot of times color vinyl is fine. And a lot of times it's beautiful and fine and sounds great, but there are those occasional times where it doesn't. And I'm tired of taking the chances sometimes. Now I admit I have a lot of the color variants that Haunt does, and they all sound great. So it all depends on who you're using to press your albums. But I'm leaning more towards nowadays getting just the standard black, especially if there's a price discount. And so that's what I did here. But Haunt releases a lot of things in color variants, lots of beautiful variants. I don't buy a lot of them. I know some people do. Kevin, that will buy all the different variants. I do not. This one has a booklet too that I'm having a problem getting out. Comes with a nice size glossy booklet with lyrics and photos on every page with adjoining, and then he's got a picture of the band. So just all kinds of custom photos with each lyric for the album. So yeah, the band has been just churning out the music for sure. And so, and he's done other bands too, and has recently discontinued doing the Beastmaker stuff, I believe he said, and he's just focusing on the haunt. But he's done some other projects. Is it that one that he's done? That's more of a Doom aspect. I think that was the one he recently announced that he was not going any further with. I'd like to see him reissue some of the stuff because I got late to the game on that one, and there's quite a few of those releases that I can't find these days. But anyway, new haunt, Ignite. If you're not familiar, check it out. If you are familiar and you didn't know about that because they come out fast, jump on it. Lamentations, the 5th album from Wytch, Hazel. Wytch, Hazel 5 Lamentations. You would think the 5 would be done there. Anyway, they are a UK band that came out like in 2016, and this is their 5th album. They put out some music in 2012. They started in 2011. They put out a couple singles and stuff in 2012, and then kind of nothing. And then in I think 2016, the first full-length album. And they have had 5 albums since then. This is number 5. They mark them 1 through 5. And the band is very, it's hard rock. People say they have a Nawabum feel and sound, and they kind of do. They're kind of like just a hard rock. They're really kind of smooth and just, I don't know how to describe them. You have to check them out. I just enjoy them. I'm really late to the game on this. I think I finally got their albums last year. Though I did have digital tracks for a long time that I had received from somewhere, bought some of that. But I didn't start catching up on buying their vinyl releases until literally in the past year. And I was able to find them fairly quickly and got all 4 of the previous ones. So when this one came out, I pre-ordered it. Another one of those bands that has multiple color variants. Mine's a stone gray looking thing, which is very cool. Your standard insert with lyrics. But check it out for sure. If you're not familiar with the band, check them out. If you like that old school sound, it's modern, but it's an old school sound of the like hard rock of the early 80s. Not quite crossing into the, no real metal per se. It's just really good, straightforward hard rock and stuff. And so, yeah, check them out. That one just dropped in July, and I finally picked it up, I think in late August, just a couple weeks ago. So there you go. Just 3 great releases that I want to make sure that everybody's aware of and that you don't miss out on. A lot of these can be limited pressings, and you don't want to sleep on them. So that's it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.